Welcome everybody. Come along with me and my friend Blaine as we go on an adventure to Blake Island. Now, on a beautiful winter day, Blaine and I set out on our kayak out of Cormorant Cove near West Seattle and headed straight towards Blake Island. Now, we had plans to go to Blake Island earlier in the year, but things didn't quite work out, so we decided to head over there now, kind of. So Blake Island is about a 4-mile paddle from Alki Beach in West Seattle. And there's some buildings there, and people go there in the summer. In the winter, the only way to get there is by kayak, which Bill Clinton and his friends did back in the 90s. And, Bill Clinton's famous for going to islands with his friends. So we wanted to see what this was all about. Now, as we paddled out, everything seemed to be fine until suddenly we came across some tsunami waves rolling in from the Pacific. We bobbed and weaved and slapped up and down with the boat, and at the very last minute when we thought we were going to go under, we squeezed through, nothing happened, so we just kept going. Now, we saw a buoy out in the distance, and although we'd been training by sitting at home for 12 hours a day for the last couple months, we weren't prepared to sit all the way to Blake Island. So we decided we'd head out to the buoy and turn around once we got there. Now, as the buoy came into sight, we saw a bird on top of it, and we saw Blake Island in the distance. We did it. We made it to the buoy. And as we saw Blake Island in the distance, what we didn't realize is that it was not Blake Island. And because we'd gone out 2 miles and we were tired, we flipped around and headed back into town. Now, I started to think about how deep Puget Sound was, and I didn't know that seals could go down 1,000 feet. But if seals can go down 1,000 feet, that's 1,000 feet of sharks. It means that if we fall in, and you can see how close they are to this boat here, man, oh shit. So we kept paddling nice and fast. Now, we started to think back about our day, and it wasn't very adventurous, and we were disappointed. But little did we know, we were about to face nature right in the face. As we paddled towards Alki, Blaine got a premonition, and then he saw a seal that you can't see here. But I believed him. And if that meant there were seals, then that meant there were orcas. And if there were orcas, then there was definitely going to be a seagull-orca territorial showdown. We were just feet away, watching this battle take place as the seagulls dove in and tried to stab the orcas with their beaks, over and over. And after a while, we realized we were probably actually getting surrounded by the orcas, so we paddled away a little bit to see if the orcas would come up and swallow the seagulls. We tried yelling for help to a ferry, but the ferry didn't seem to care. And if they didn't care, well then, we better get out of there. So we headed back in again, like we were already doing. And we kept going, and nothing really happened at this point, but I began to think back about the day and what we'd learned and how it had really shaped us as men and what it meant for the upcoming work week. And I don't think I regret it. Next time, I probably will bring a map and make sure that I go the right direction, and probably some chum to throw off the orcas, because that could have been pretty bad. Anyway, thanks for joining us on our adventure today. We hope to bring you along again next time. Good night, everybody.